And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Boo. I'm your host, Super Commie Will. I almost said my full name there. And I'm joined today by...
Brendan. I have no time for these nicknames.
And today we will be discussing...
Yeah, great start, everybody.
Today we will be discussing, Brendan, our top 10 movies of all time.
Of all time.
And to start this thing off, we have to warn you, these are the top 10 movies at the moment. We've been making these lists for the past 2 days. By making these lists for the past 2 days, I mean that yesterday I told Brennan to make a list, and we both made our list 10 minutes before stream. So we're not even sure like if we missed movies, but as of right now,
Yeah.
out of all the movies we could think of, these are our top movies. We are going to go in order, starting from 10 to number 1. But first, like all the lists Brendan and I do, we're going to do some honorable mentions. So we'll do an honorable mention just one at a time. You want to go first?
You go first. You go first.
Okay, thank you for that. The first honorable mention is one that almost no one else I could imagine would ever put as one of their favorite movies of all time, and that is Batman and Robin.
I get that. You know what? That's pretty fair.
Now, many people hate that movie because they're like, it's very corny. Now, I watched this as a kid, which is basically what this movie's audience was for. So I loved it. It's super quotable to me. It's a great kids movie. I think Batman and Robin is a really funny kids movie.
Yeah. You know what? It's just like a cult classic.
Yeah. Is it actually? I think people really still hate it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love how bad it is, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's there's something to it.
Yeah. So what's yours? Give me one of yours.
All right. Now, to be fair, like with the honorable mentions, these are definitely not in order. The top 10 is
Oh, yeah.
barely in order, but I'm gonna throw out a classic, Jaws, number 1.
Jazz?
Jazz.
He's not even in your 10?
I knew it.
Oh my
You're gonna be
God.
surprised, everybody, how many of my honorable mentions.
I can imagine some stupid sports movies in your top 10. Are there any?
No, one made the honorable mention. It didn't make no sports in the top 10. It was in there, and then it got
I
bumped.
can't believe Jaws. Now I'm super interested in your list. But okay, Jaws. Okay. One of mine, Bumblebee. The latest. Ooh, I don't like that.
That's great.
The latest Transformers movie. I fucking love that movie. I thought it had a lot of heart.
Oh, wait, time out.
Mhm.
My brain wasn't functioning.
Oh.
Now I make sense. I thought you meant B movie.
No.
With Jerry Seinfeld. That's why I cracked up. No, Bumblebee is a very good movie.
Yeah, I like Bumblebee. It had a lot of heart.
Bumblebee has one of the best openings to a movie ever.
I know. It's up there with Revenge of the
Oh
Sith.
my god. I thought that's where you were going. I thought you were
No. It's up there with
gonna
Revenge.
geek out on me again.
But I love the movie. I enjoyed watching it. I love watching it in theaters. I've watched it multiple times since it came out. I love it, and I hope it gets more sequels and stuff, which I think it is. So that's one of mine.
All right. Since you asked me about sports movies, my one honorable sport mention movie is Rudy, with Samwise the Brave. Sean Astin is the main character.
I never watched that.
It's really good. It's I don't know how to describe it. Just never give up kind of story. It's about it kind of, like us, someone that doesn't belong playing football, tries out, plays football.
Oh, we gave up though.
Yeah, he didn't. That's why it's inspiring.
Sort of not like us.
He didn't quit, and he actually managed to get on the field for one play for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And that's all he needed.
If there's that shouldn't be in the top 10. If there's a good sports movie, it's Angels in the Outfield, and you know that.
That is a good one. I could give you, I could do a list of dozens of sports movies, but that's for.
I could maybe give you a list of like 2, and one of them is Top Gun because of that volleyball scene.
I could give you a bunch. Maybe that'll be my next podcast.
Maybe that'll be a good one. Sports movies. My next honorable mention it's kind of up there with Bumblebee in that it came out recently, but I really felt attached to it. Detective Pikachu.
Okay, I respect that.
I know
That's
people
a fun movie.
it's a fun movie, but
And you're a big Pokemon guy.
Yeah, I love Pokemon. Check out the Great Boy Opens. I open Pokemon cards sometimes. and the second Great Boy podcast that we did, where we talked about the first Pokemon movie. But anyway, I love Detective Pikachu. Seeing all those Pokemon on live action on the big screen, oh, it got me emotional. It made me feel like a kid when I watched the original movie in theaters. So I love seeing it. And again, story solid. Not amazing. It didn't have to blow me away. It was just a fun story.
It just had to not be bad.
Yeah.
And it was a good movie. Next for me, this one almost cracked the list too, and this is a favorite of both of ours. I wouldn't be surprised if this made either of your list. Step Brothers.
No, it's not on my list.
I love that movie. Like that's something I could just watch anytime, you know. It's quotable, it's still hilarious. It might be like Will Ferrell's best work. And we've both seen a lot of like Will Ferrell stuff, and you know, rest in peace to what he used to be, because it ain't there anymore.
His best movie is probably Anchorman, I think. Is that really like blew up? I mean, Step Brothers did too, but Anchorman, everyone loves Anchorman.
Yeah, I mean, Anchorman had the cast, like him and Steve Carell, you know, solid, and just Anchorman works. But I think I always love Step Brothers more because it's way more raunchy and just over the top.
Yeah,
and relatable because it's, you know, it's about a couple of fucking idiots.
Yeah. To the audience, we're not 40 though, so we're like half that. So my next movie is The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Okay. That one didn't make these lists for me.
When I was a kid, that's the Lord of the Ring movie that I watched the most. Because the Battle of Helm's Deep, greatest night battle of all time, in movie or TV.
Well, of course.
It's such a great battle scene. It does what the first... No, get the fuck out of here.
I'm joking. It's called sarcasm. Look it up. Oh no, that's the movie.
Yeah. It fleshed out
the movie.
Yeah, it fleshed out the characters more than the first movie didn't. I mean, like Legolas was a background. Like I think it's an amazing movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah. So it deserves an honorable mention.
Absolutely. All right, so another one for me. The original Alien.
Oh, okay. Director's cut or regular?
We'll go through. I forget which one I watched. This is Alien, not Aliens. I know I've watched Aliens director's cut, of course.
The not James Cameron one.
Yeah. I'm talking about OG Alien. That is a great movie. That was one of my first, like, I guess it's not even a horror movie, but that was one of my first movies, like a thriller, scary movie like that.
It's a thriller horror.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
You know, great sci-fi. One of the best. What's the word I'm looking for? Title catchphrases. In space, no one can hear you scream. That enough to this day is still like, oh my god.
Yeah. I can't think of another one better than that off the top of my head. But we're not gonna, that's something else.
Crime never wins when Batman begins.
My last honorable mention, Jurassic Park.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
That's on your list?
It's on my list.
Okay.
It's on the list, yeah.
For me, it was this and the movie I put in 10th place were fighting back and forth of where it's going to be. But I put it on my honorable mentions. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But it's a great movie, but it's a slow start, I think. It's a little bit... Not that it's bad. Like, it's kind of like Jaws, but it's a little bit too slow for me at the beginning.
Yeah. That's why, like, Jaws couldn't go higher for me. Like, I love it. It's iconic. A few of between both lists, there's, bunch of John Williams movies in here. There's a number, of course. I think you know where that's going. But
actually, it's making me think how similar those movies are in the sense that you really don't see the dinosaurs or the shark until the latter part of the film, and each movie begins with the shark attack and the raptor attack, and then it's like an hour and a half of like.
I feel like you see the dinosaurs a lot sooner, though.
Yeah.
But still, they both have that hard, scary mindset to it. My last one. This is a great movie. This could easily have been on my top 5, honestly, too. The original Toy Story.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like one movie on the other list as well that's I guess a kids movie, but we'll talk about that. But
I
Toy Story, I'll watch that anytime. I love all four of them, but the original, I don't know, there's something about it.
I prefer 2 over 1.
I don't know. I I can't say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've watched the original two so many times as a kid. I love them
It's-
both, but
mm.
I think
All
for
right.
me it's just one just beats
So
it out.
10 minutes of just our honorable mentions. Now
Sounds
let's
about right.
get on to the juicy part of this, the actual top 10 movies. I will go first.
Okay.
It's my turn anyway. My
Yes.
number 10 movie, Hot Tub Time Machine. This movie,
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you had a great day. We'll talk soon.
it gets me every time I watch it. It's a movie I watch so much.
I already know our lists are completely different.
I know.
If that's 10, I don't want to know what's in 5.
That's also it's the only comedy I have on here.
Okay. I have one comedy and it's upcoming.
It's just the perfect movie to me when I'm getting drunk. I just want to watch something and laugh. I turn this movie on because it's so stupid. The premise is stupid, but it's just the
Very much
actors.
so.
It works. They make it work.
They did make it work. It's not nearly one of the best comedy films out there, but
No,
not at all, honestly.
this is a guilty pleasure for me. I think
Yeah.
out of all the
There's
movies
something
on
about
here,
it that works.
yeah, out of all the movies on my list, I think this is the one someone would point out to be like, why the hell is that on your list?
Yeah.
But I love it. So that's my number 10.
That's fair. All right. My number 10. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. This is the this is probably, as everyone's listening to this, people are going to probably be like, "Oh, I hope there's like, iconic films of drama and this and that." This is the only one that comes close. The rest of them are just mainly pop culture. Have you ever heard of the movie Life is Beautiful? I guess not. Okay.
Sorry, I was looking it up.
No, Life is Beautiful is mid '90s film. It's a foreign film, a foreign Italian film. I'm gonna very quick. It's
You
about
think my movie would make people go away, not this?
this is an Academy Award winning film.
What do you think
Multiple
the audience is? No offense, audience.
Just do me a favor. I think it's got to be on Netflix or Hulu. Just everyone just watch it. It's a beautiful drama, comedy, everything. It's fantastic. It takes place during the Holocaust. It's awesome. It's really, really good. That's all I'll say.
Way to bring it down with that last part, but okay.
It's the truth. It takes place during the Holocaust. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So my number 9 then.
9.
Another kind of a guilty pleasure movie, but I loved it a lot. Tron Legacy. The
Okay.
second Tron movie. I saw this before the original Tron, and I think it was a great sci-fi movie. I loved it. I thought it looked amazing. Great actors. And yeah, I mean, there's not that much to say about it. There was a planned sequel that never came to fruition. I think it made some good money. But for some reason they just didn't want to make another one. But like I said, I really liked it. And I know a lot of people like the CGI of the guy from, the guy.
Of course, yeah. The guy. Come on.
No, I'm sorry, the dude.
Yeah. Bridges. I almost
Yeah,
said Jeff
Jeff Bridges,
Goldblum.
yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
So
The Big Lebowski.
the CGI version of him isn't amazing, but at the time it was pretty good. That's the only thing that really kind of hampers it a little bit for me when I rewatch it. But otherwise, I think it's a really great movie. So yeah, it's my number 9.
Absolutely. My number 9, everybody. This is like I said, this is the only like comedy. Guilty, same thing with Hot Tub. It's a guilty pleasure. Borat. Let me guess, it's in your top 3.
Absolutely not.
Is it on the list?
No, it's
Okay.
so my list is more movies that I like. There are good movies I have on this list that
Yeah, of course.
It's not that rewatchable to me.
Right.
Like you have to be in the mood to watch Borat. Borat's an event.
That's true. I haven't done it in a while, but
Yeah.
for a long time, Borat was one of those movies. Once a year, I would put it on for whatever reason. Like I'd be like, you know what, I could go for a ridiculous laugh and watch Borat. It's
I mean,
just
It's an
one of the
amazing movie.
wildest movies out there.
I
It's
remember
still hilarious.
the way I watched it was I went to the store with my family one day, and I mean, in the DVD section there was just up front copies everywhere, maybe like 50 copies of Borat. Like they were pushing it. I remember hearing that it was like insanely funny,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like a kid. My family was like, "We're not buying you this weird R-rated movie." It's like a photo of like a. It was just a weird. Because I mean, at the time, like word had gotten around about how weird it was,
Yeah.
and I got them. I fought to get them to let me have it, and I got it. And I went home and I watched, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I've never been the same since.
Yeah, I don't even remember how it started for me. I think it might have just been like someone in my family was like, "You're demented enough. Here, try this one out for size." It's just, God, I just thinking about it, I'm trying like not to crack up right now.
I don't even know if I'd classify it as a comedy. I don't even know what I'd say it is.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah. It's a drama.
It is
Will
a drama.
he get with Pamela?
Will he get with Pamela?
A little bit of romance, I guess, in there too.
Yeah.
It's a road movie.
It's a
Two
road
dudes.
movie.
Oh
It's
my-
Americana.
Yeah, it's the. You know what? It's everything.
It's everything. It's everything you want and never want to see again.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Thank you.
So my number. That's your number 9, right?
That was my number 9.
My number 8. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Our first matching movie.
What's yours? What number is it for you?
It's much lower. It's closer to the end.
I think I've just been picking kids movies, which is really depressing now that I'm thinking about it.
No, I picked
Like,
Borat. That's okay.
you
I
can
was a
see what-
teenager for that.
You could see where his, like, where he stopped developing.
Okay. All
But,
right, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a movie. It's like it's the movie I watched the most, I think, as a kid. I loved it. I love the music. I love Tim Burton. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. I know he's kind of fallen off, but when I was a kid, he was pumping out hit after hit, and I watched all of them. I even loved his Planet of the Apes. I'll admit to that. And Nightmare Before Christmas is where it all started. I just stop animation was amazing. I love the story. It's one of my favorite kids movies of all time.
You couldn't have put it any better, honestly.
Oh, and also I feel like as we've gotten older, it's become a little bit more popular. Like I think I see more.
Oh, it's very
Yeah.
it's
I think it
definitely
was
like
like-
a pop culture cult classic
Yeah.
now.
2 to 3 years ago, I feel like I've been seeing more merchandise for it pop up everywhere too.
Mm.
Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. So that's my number 8.
All right, my number 8 is Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. We talked about that one already, right? Or am I
Yeah.
going crazy?
I mean, I talked about it mostly. Like you could talk about it now. When that's like on your part of the list. Like anything you want to say about it?
I mean, it's just, fantastic soundtrack, like I said. Just
Just that
it's
one
very-
song.
No, the other one too.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not,
the
I
other
can't,
Yeah.
I'm not getting in trouble with YouTube. Just a great concept of a story. It's also one of my favorite books ever. The book was so like terrifying.
That's
For the
the-
movie it's a little more like, Spielberg adventure, fun going, But it's fantastic. It's maybe his best work. I'm trying to think of like other Spielberg movies, but it's a top
Jones.
Indiana Jones, E.T. It's a top 3 Steven Spielberg
The
films.
big one. The big.
The BFG?
Yeah.
Okay. Somehow that manages to get into the conversation.
Also,
Okay.
like everyone we've talked about so far, nowadays also kind of fallen off.
Who's Spielberg?
Yeah.
I think his last 2 films were BFG and then Ready Player One.
So, let's see where his career's going.
Mhm.
My number 7, a movie you don't know. It's an animated movie, A Silent Voice. It's a Japanese animated film. Very beautiful story. I'm not a pussy like some of you guys that cry in movie theaters. Like, oh, look at that sad story. I don't care. This movie got me tearing up. That's how emotional it was. And I took Gene to see it. Like I said to Gene, I want to see this movie. Come see it. And I really didn't talk to him about it. I didn't let him know what it was. And so we sat down thinking we were watching an anime movie. And then it just like I looked over a couple times. He was tearing up. It's a very sad story. It's basically about a kid who's teasing a girl who's deaf in school. and then it like because of that he gets blamed for making her move away. He's accused of bullying, and it kind of like ruins his life. And so he lives his whole life, like not his whole life, but like next couple of years, being an outcast and always rethinking about how he treated her. And it's a whole. It turns into a love story. It's a very beautiful movie. I would definitely suggest you to try it out. A Silent Voice.
Silent Voice. All right. Well, now as I'm looking at my list, I realize that a lot of these are maybe my brain did stop growing with. At least my number 10 at least was a drama. That's like, there's something special there. That's a great film. After that, it's just downhill.
I think I might change my top 3 to like Pacific Rim. I mean, not. I wasn't say Pearl Harbor.
Whoa.
Like maybe put like some dramas on there. Like look we.
I know, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, oh boy.
Your favorite movie is Schindler's List too, right?
Oh boy. I almost don't want to like say it. Just the difference between your number 7 and my number 7.
Just say it.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
You have any movies that came out before 2003?
Came after it, you mean?
Before. Oh no, yeah, after.
Maybe 2?
Yeah. I don't think so for me. Besides maybe Tron Legacy. I think that's it.
That might be it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna like. I did it with a different set of movies, but I wasn't gonna sit there and put like, not that I would, multiple Harry Potter movies or this or that. Just like for me, the first one was always my favorite. I love like different ones, for different reasons. I think there was just always something about the first one that kind of stuck with me. I saw it not immediately when it came out, but when it was new, and I guess it was a new, fresh experience. It was something different, and I bought in. I jumped on that train. The Hogwarts Express.
I knew it was coming. I can't believe you even set yourself up like that. I was going back and forth on The Prisoner of Azkaban. And
I knew that was always your favorite.
Goblet of Fire. I was going back and forth between those two on my honorable mentions, but then Jurassic Park beat them out.
Gotcha.
But great movie. I love it. I love Harry Potter. You read all the books?
Yeah.
Yeah. I read the first 5, then I was like, no thanks. That was your number
7.
7. Okay, my number 6. Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
I mean, I saw this movie as a kid. I loved it. I know the prequels get hate, and now people are kind of turning around at them because the sequel sucks so much. But I love Revenge of the Sith. The visuals are amazing. They still stand up. The opening battle of Coruscant, one of the best moments in Star Wars ever. Maybe the best opening. Definitely the best opening in Star Wars, I think. The duels between Anakin. I mean, almost all the duels in the movie are amazing.
Oh, yeah. They all are.
Yeah, I love seeing the Clone Wars, the different clone battalions around the galaxy fighting with their Jedi. The planets were cool, Order 66. It's not the best movie to sit and read the dialogue, but visually, I mean, there's so many moments in that movie that you can go back and watch, and you're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, Revenge of the Sith for me is my number 5. 6.
No, number 6.
Yeah, 6.
What if I told you it was my number 6 also?
Get out.
I swear to God. It was originally higher, but it got bumped and lowered and bumped and lowered. It's been sitting at 6 for a while. It is my number 6 on the list.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that was a movie I can't tell you how many times I watched it, like when I first got it on DVD. It just all the action in it compared to other Star Wars films is just like so much more, so different, so much more involved. Like you said, there's so many like dialogue scenes that like I will gladly skip over. Like if I don't have to watch like
You're breaking my heart.
Gone. No thanks. Just skip to when she's dead. It's sorry. Not sorry. But great music, great, action scenes. Is it maybe the darkest, not that it's dark, but the darkest Star Wars film?
Oh yeah, Order
Yeah.
66 when they're killing the kids.
Yeah. That's still like a shot that some people like really like.
Disney banned the word younglings at the theme park because it's associated with killing kids.
That's foolish. That's a shame.
But yeah, so
Cowards, I tell you.
great number sixes.
Yeah. 66.
Order 66. Oh! I can't even think about that. God, someone's watching. It's like these guys are some real nerds.
And no, if you're listening, we're not high-fiving each other right now.
No, but the motion was probably there for one of us at least. My number 5. Now this is a movie that Brendan, I know. I don't even know if you watch it. I've talked to you about it multiple times. I've tried to get you to watch, and you push back every time, as everyone is when I tell them about this movie. The Rocky Horror Picture
Show. Okay.
You
No,
wanna-
I don't think that's like bad to have on your list at all.
You want to talk about a great soundtrack? Hot Patootie by Meatloaf. The time traveling. I can't think of the name. I know the movie, but the time. Let's do the time warp again, or just time warp. Great music, great cast, by the way. Like an amazing cast. Tim Curry. I mean, the cast in this is like surprisingly like holy crap. Funny, different for its time. So weird and bizarre, but it works. I love it. I watched it when I was in middle school, and I was like, this. It was so different from anything I've ever seen before, and it's something I always try and watch every Halloween. And yeah, like I said, love the music. I had the music on my iPod,
Oh yeah,
iPhone.
love it.
Yeah. So that's my number 5.
All right.
Is it your number 1?
Yeah. So my number 5 is one that you already mentioned, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Number 5.
Yeah, it worked. That one worked its way down.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it was probably the first one, the first like stop motion film I ever watched like that, and I've always been fascinated by them since. There's just something about that movie. It's the soundtrack. It's the whole story is so interesting. It's definitely a little like, it's very creepy. It's very different. Just the style, like I guess the outfits and everything like that, the whole design of Halloween Town. I've always thought it was just super cool. And even
Yeah.
just like the main, like even if it was just This Is Halloween was the only song in the movie, it would still be fantastic.
Yeah.
Every other song is just icing on the cake.
It's a great movie. Yeah, it's
It's fantastic.
It hurt me to put it that high.
Yeah.
So my number 4, we're getting down there now.
Mm.
A sequel to a movie that you mentioned already. Aliens, the second
yeah.
Alien movie.
I had a feeling it would make your top 10.
I first watched this as a kid on VHS, and I couldn't make it past the original firefight when they first encountered the xenomorphs. It was too scary for me, and so I watched it as a kid. I got up there, I stopped it, and I never watched it again until I was an adult. Maybe not an adult. I was like early high school.
And then you wouldn't shut up about it.
And I fell in love with it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a movie I rewatch all the time. Another movie where, I mean, it takes an hour to an hour and a half before you even encounter a xenomorph. Like it's a good 80s drama thriller, slash horror, where it's just you were introduced to the characters. The characters are built up, you know more about them, and then you watch them all die slowly one by one.
It's true.
And yeah,
About it.
it's an amazing movie by the Titanic guy.
The Titanic guy. It is a great movie.
James Cameron. So yeah, that's my number 4. I love it.
That's your number 4. Perfect. All right. I don't know if this one made your list. I'm going to be curious to see. Because I know it's one of your favorite movies of all time. The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, you know it's on my list.
Okay. I had to make sure. Yeah, that's number 4 for me. It's my favorite Star Wars film. It's one of the best sequels ever. Because
Oh yeah.
the original Star Wars is even one of the greatest films of all time. But The
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back just took it to a whole different level. More character development with the main characters and stuff. You were introduced to Yoda. You were introduced to Lando. You got a lot more out of Darth Vader. Who, in the original movie, I think he's on screen for like, I don't know, 8 minutes or something
Yeah.
at that most. In this one, he's actually like the real main villain, and
I think it's more like 5 minutes in the original one.
it's very, very limited.
And you got the tease of what's it called? What's he called? The Palpatine.
Yes, that's true.
Everyone go online and look up the original Empire Strikes Back Emperor scene because he
You
looks
don't have to.
way different.
It's hot, yeah. Also, I just looked. The original movie, 8 minutes 6 seconds.
Oh, okay, so you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even a lot of that could have just been like him, like in the background when
Yeah.
he wasn't even necessarily speaking.
And how much of that is also just him in the ship, like just turning that one knob over and over again?
Hey, he had to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did something. He got a couple kills.
Is A New Hope on your list?
It's not.
Okay, so that's the movie I thought that it would be on your list. It's not on my list either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but Revenge of the Sith beat it out. I think that's the discussion we had where I ranked that higher than A New Hope.
Okay. My number 3, Jazz.
Jaws. Okay.
That was my first like thriller/horror.
Mm.
Like as a kid, I mean, I'm still terrified of going in the water. I mean, like the impact it had on society. Positive,
Oh yeah.
negative.
All
Like-
society didn't go in the ocean
Yeah.
for at least that summer.
And we practically like hunted sharks into extinction because of it. Because everyone was like, "Hey, I want to go out and kill Jaws," but it was positive because of that movie, more people wanted to study sharks. So it's a yin and yang.
That's true.
I love this movie. I watch it all the time. It's what was it? 35th anniversary was the 20th. It's the first blockbuster ever. I mean,
Is it?
Yeah. It's like the first movie that like people were going multiple times to see it.
What about Star Wars?
This is
I think
before
they were the
Star-
same year.
But this is before it.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, I mean, I love
Interesting.
Jaws. I love Jaws. I love I love sharks because of Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I fucking love Jaws. Love Jaws. And again, great characters, great
Yeah.
character building. The shark looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
I
Still
just-
looks great.
I love it.
Better than like movies now with sharks where it's just completely CGI.
Yeah.
There's not that like realism to it.
There's still like one shark movie a year because of Jaws.
Oh yeah. That movie has kept the shark
The
business.
shark genre.
It's Shark Week.
Yeah.
There's no way Shark Week isn't
Anything you
somewhat
know,
because of Jaws.
anything you know that you could see or do that has the word shark in it, it's Jaws. It's because
Yeah.
of Jaws.
Basically.
So that's my number 3.
All right. My number 3 is ironically the third movie in a trilogy.
Jaws 3?
Surprisingly, no. Although I've seen that movie. Return of the King.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
You said like when you were younger, Two Towers was the one you watched the most. I think when I was younger, Return of the King might have been the one I watched the most.
Really?
Yeah, I told you, I like when I was younger, I loved those like original battles and everything.
Oh, I mean, I love it too.
Yeah. I still love them. Pelennor Fields, just that whole scene, that speech is just still. I'll watch that anytime, anywhere. I love the whole. I'm not talking about like the 10 endings at the end, but I love like that final push of like Frodo and Sam trying to get to the top of the mountain, like just like the fact they're that close and they can't get there, and just like we could do it. I don't know. I always love that.
Do you love Grund?
That goes without question. I know everyone listening does too.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. The wolf's head. And I love, that orc. I think his name is Gothmog.
Yes,
I love,
Gothmog.
yeah.
Who's just the Goonies? The Goonies
Yeah,
head?
it's just Sloth.
Yeah.
Sloth from the Goonies, yeah. But yeah, I love that movie.
I think it's funny you mentioned the Battle of Pelennor Fields. I'm pretty sure never, not once throughout any of the movies, Pelennor Fields is named. But it's such an iconic scene that everyone
Oh
knows
yeah,
it's the Battle of Pelennor
it's not even said in the movie. It's not like we'll meet them in Pelennor Fields or anything.
Yeah.
But like that's the name of the song, that's the name of the chapter in the book, like. And that was like the one I read. That was the one scene out of all three movies that like Peter Jackson like, that was his biggest hope that he could nail that. And like for months he like tried to envision it, and like basically the shot for shot we got is like what he envisioned for it.
Oh.
Like you know
It's
the overhead of them like on the hill, the you know the overheads of them charging, you know the death chant and everything.
It sucks that it's ruined by Carl Urban reaching for his spear in the middle of the fight from an extra.
I gotta let it.
It's funny.
Gotta let some things go.
It's funny. It's always Carl Urban dropping or grabbing a weapon that ruins shots.
Yeah, he dropped the sword.
In the second movie.
Sword fell out of his. The sword fell out, and then that one he reaches out to grab a spear.
Yeah, everyone look that up. In the battle.
It's not his fault. It's the editor's fault.
No, but they show that scene like twice. That cut where just
well,
in the middle of the
one
fight,
cut is him reaching out. The other one is him just holding it.
Okay. Well, in the middle of this one cut, everyone, you could
when
see
they're charging to their death. They're all ready to die.
Extra hands him the weapon.
Now you don't see the extra, but you see him reach out with his right hand, grab it, and then bring it up.
Yeah, it ruins it for me. I saw that as a kid. I saw that in the theater as a kid, and I was like, huh?
I don't let that bother me. Now I see it like I chuckle, but
I love the movie.
It doesn't ruin it for me.
I love the movie, but after the Battle of Gondor, for me, this movie goes down. It's like an hour of like, besides Frodo and Sam, like a snooze fest. The Battle of the Black Gate sucks. The multiple endings are like, Jesus, moving on.
The multiple endings are tough, but I like the final battle because I like just the concept, like they know like they're gonna die anyway. It's just like, you know.
Where'd all the horses go? Why'd they get rid of the horses?
That I don't understand.
Sense.
They could have at least. I mean, I don't know if that would have helped them or hurt them. They would have just gone farther in and then been stuck.
Aragorn 1v1's a troll.
Mm-hmm. Like, that was originally supposed to be Sauron.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
And thankfully they changed that. That would have just been like, what?
Yeah. But either way,
because lore for you, anyone that's seen Lord of the Rings, even if you've never watched the whole movies, people know the eye, you know, the big eye of Sauron.
We're going on about this movie too long. It's been like 10 minutes of this movie.
Because long story short, that eye is not in the books. There's no form of Sauron at all. He's fucking just
Besides the ring. Okay, anyway, the next movie, because I have to move on. The next movie, my number 2. Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
I mean, this is, to me, it's the best one of all three. It's such a, like, I don't even know how to, I can't even put into words in one, like in 1 second, in like 1 minute of how much of this movie. Mm-hmm. It's maybe one of the most perfect movies I've ever seen. It really is. I can't think of another movie where, like, scene by scene, I don't think I dislike anything. It's such a great movie. So I'm really gonna stop it there. Like, I could just go on for hours, but I'm just gonna stop. I love The Fellowship of the Ring.
That was your number 2, right?
Yeah.
All right, my number 2 is the original Lion King. I don't know, I can't explain it. It was always my favorite, like, kids movie, and it's just, I think.
Even more than the other kids' movies on your list?
Yeah, just a little bit. How do I put it? Like, I'm not gonna like go off the rails or anything, but I don't even think it's like, for me, it's forget like the songs. It's the actual like soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. It's record speaking, it's his best work because it's the only work he ever got an award for. Oh. Yeah, he only ever got one Academy Award, and it was for The Lion King. But I just always love that music. I love the story. I still think it looks beautiful. I don't know. There's just something about it for me that just stands out.
Okay. I'm going to ask then, where do you stand on this movie and Cujo in the White Line or something?
No, Kimba.
Oh, Kimba.
Kimba. But even literally just Simba.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
You know.
In fact, in an interview with Ferris Bueller, The guy
Yeah,
who made
he
the voice
thought
of
he was
Simba?
he thought he was going in for
Yeah.
Kimba because he
And then,
watched that as a kid.
yeah, and then they had to tell him, no, no, no.
He was a weep like us. He watched Japanese shows.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But if anyone doesn't know what we're saying, look it up, Kimba.
Just
And
look up Lion King Kimba.
Yeah.
There's got to be like documentaries worth of footage
Oh,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. There's so much. But okay. So my number one and your number one. Maybe is it the same?
No, it's different.
Oh, okay. My
You
number
go first. You have to go. Give me your number one.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
It's the greatest Star Wars movie of all time. It did. I can't. Anyone who's like, it's fucking. The sequels have Rey and Kylo. Yeah, well, they're fucking losers. Everyone in the I'm gonna just
Calm down.
everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone in the
Back
sequels,
to Empire.
Everyone, no, everyone in the sequels, including Han, Leia, and Luke, they're all losers. They're a bunch of losers, and even Palpatine's a loser. Those sequels make
What movie are we talking about? Come on.
They're losers.
Come on.
Empire Strikes Back, amazing soundtrack.
Oh yeah. Like guys, keep going. I'm sorry.
The Battle of Hoth is amazing. When like the technology that they used at the time, the fleet looks cool. You get more Vader. I am your father. That line.
Oh, of course.
Luke and Yoda is like gives me chills when I watch it. Han and Leia, an amazing love story. Chewbacca is there, I guess, and it's just a great.
Before 3PO like annoyed me to.
It's like this is like right when C-3PO is getting to that point where it's like he's a little too much.
Yeah, this was this
shot him.
3PO.
Yeah.
And when R2D2 was still relevant.
Yes. And you get amazing new characters like General Veers and Admiral Piet. Just an overall amazing movie, I think. You got the Snowtroopers.
Yes.
I think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie of all time. It's the movie I think I've watched the most out of any movie I've ever watched.
Okay, that's fair.
Your number one?
My number one has already been mentioned. The Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay. They were fighting for me in first place.
Now, for me, like I thought about it, like it's just on a whole. Like I mean, Empire is a great movie, but Fellowship of the Ring is just something. Huh?
You didn't put Empire on your list at all?
No, I did. It's number 4.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying Empire is a great movie, but Fellowship is, in my opinion. Did I say Fellowship? I meant Andrew Lloyd Webber's 2009 film Cats. I'm sorry. I was reading the wrist.
What do you mean 2019?
What did I say?
2009.
Whatever. It's all a blur at this point. No, but same thing as you. Like, I think we could talk the entirety of the extended cut of Fellowship of the Ring of how good.
And we just might one day.
We just might. To be ready to tune into that one. It's just music, character, plot, visual. I can't. I'm not gonna.
This movie,
I don't want to start crying.
If I remember correctly, this movie didn't get a lot of Oscar nominations.
No, what they did
because
was,
it's so good that they gave the next 2 movies a shitload, and you know it's off the back of this movie.
Return of the King is the one that got Best Picture and got like every award it was nominated for, and they did it for all. They basically gave the last film all the awards for all 3 films.
Yeah.
Fellowship is also the only one to have an acting nod. He didn't win, but Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, was nominated for Best Supporting Actor as Gandalf the Grey.
Gandalf?
Yes.
Gandalf.
My dear Gandalf.
Oh, Gandalf. Yes, that's what they call him. Gandalf the Grey. We can't do this. We'll go on all night. But great pick. Like I said, I was fighting with that and Empire for first, and I think we have great lists for millennials.
Yeah. Did you know we're both 12 years old?
If you're a millennial, you'll love this movie. If you are older, or if you're a boomer, or you're a Z, you're gonna be like, man, they picked some shitty fucking movies.
Yeah, you know, there's people like, oh man, I wonder like if they picked Alfred Hitchcock movies. How many Quentin Tarantino movies did they pick? How many that? No.
And I can't talk about for Brennan, but to me, like there are a bunch of movies that I think are maybe better. But to me, these are my favorite movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I mean, like, at least for number 1, I don't know if like in my opinion, I don't know if there's really any films better than that, but there's definitely better films than the ones that
Oh
are on
yeah.
my list. This is just my personal
Oh, but yeah,
what I would watch anywhere, anytime, something I personally love.
fuck Alfred Hitchcock, man. I know he made good movies for his time, but I don't care. If you put him in today's world, they'd be bad and boring. I've watched the Rosebud movie. It was fucking boring. I almost fell asleep. Spoiler, it's a fucking sled. Okay, the movie sucks.
Jeez.
And the knife movie in the bathtub, the hype for that begins and ends at that scene. No one ever
Really?
talks about it. Yeah. No, fuck that movie too.
That's the
Fuck,
scene?
yeah. Fuck
Okay.
all of his movies. And yeah,
Okay.
thank you for watching this list.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for stopping by.
Brendan, you want to plug in your Twitch?
Not this time. Well, maybe another time.
Okay.
I'll let
You got they're asking for it. You gotta get on that.
I know. I've been seeing everyone is demanding it.
Okay.
I'm just a little shy.
Thank you, everyone.
Maybe once I win Warzone, maybe I'll get more comfortable.
No, that's.
So never. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we are out.